We've got a huge update to talk about regarding Grand Theft Auto 6 and its delay, and anonymous Rockstar Games employees speaking out on the working conditions and what's going on inside and behind the scenes at Rockstar Games. We'll be diving into all of that in this video today and a whole lot more. So a few days ago on the GTA forum site, an anonymous Rockstar Games employee made a post about what's going on inside Rockstar and the working conditions there. And this post has been verified by the moderators and admins over at the GTA forum. So this is 100% legit, and this is 100% a fired Rockstar Games employee. So this is what they had to say. Hey everyone, Rockstar employee of many years here. Understandably, I want to remain anonymous due to retaliation from the company, but I may be willing to verify I'm an employee with Spider-Vice via DM if required. I'm also a member of the union. I've been reading a lot of the discussion on here and elsewhere about the firing of more than 34 of my colleagues last week, 31 in the UK, plus 3 in Canada. And I've seen a lot of disinformation and lies that are really concerning, particularly concerning how so many folks are willing to believe the company's excuses. Last week, my colleagues who were in studio were each individually messaged by HR for a short, friendly meeting, under the friendly guise of, hey, are you free for a quick chat? Upon attending this meeting, they were handed an envelope with a short letter stating that their employment has been terminated for gross misconduct regarding posts made in Discord. They failed to provide any evidence when asked, nor was any stated in the letter, and didn't divulge any other information or reasoning, and quote, and no other reason. They refused their right to union representation in the disciplinary meeting, which is against UK employment law, and were frog marched out of the studio, with the meeting lasting less than 5 minutes. For colleagues who were not in the studio that day, they received a phone call from HR that lasted less than 2 minutes telling them they were fired and that they had received the same letter as above. I am aware of one employee who had a panic attack at the moment, and HR hung up on them during this panic attack, not caring at all about their well-being. These colleagues of mine were hard workers who have spent many years at Rockstar Games in critical roles, with colleagues who have been at Rockstar for more than 18 years, and none of them have ever had disciplinary in that time. They are not easily replaced and will certainly affect us in making our project deadlines. There are very senior artists, animators, QA testers, designers, programmers, and producers, including leads, all super talented people who were proud of their work over multiple Rockstar titles, and they all wanted what was best for Rockstar and their fellow colleagues. Now, the message is so long, I had to break it down into 2 screenshots. It goes on to say some of these members were off sick, recovering from surgery, or on paternity leave, fired without pay, losing their careers and putting them into hardship in the lead up to Christmas, and even potentially losing their visas to work in the UK. Let me make this clear. I never saw any discussion leaking of Rockstar projects in the union Discord. They only ever discussed what was around unionized efforts and the working conditions at Rockstar. The Discord wasn't public. It was a private Discord group that only contained Rockstar employees and the IWGB union officials. This was union busting and nothing else. Everyone fired was a union member. They were also predominantly from those who were on the union organizing committees of each UK studio. Just 1 week before, the union had reached 200 members, taking us over the 10% threshold required to seek recognition and begin engaging in collective bargaining, allowing us to negotiate directly with management on the key issues that affect us: worsening crunch, inadequate pay, and inflexible working arrangements. They have fired over 34 of us now. There were over 250 of us in that union employee Discord group. There's a fear that if they get away with this, they'll have nothing stopping them from doing this again and again. Those of us who are lucky and remain for now work in fear, fearful when talking to each other over at the tea prep, fearful that we're next in line and easily got rid of too, scared to go outside the studio and talk to or even acknowledge our colleagues outside protesting in fear of reprisals. Morale in the studio is at rock bottom. When we should be excited about what's to come over the next year, we are totally deflated, and our trust and confidence as others is totally shot. Which is the truly heartbreaking part. As far as us in the union, all of our ambition was to make Rockstar a happier, fairer, safer, and more equitable place. That's all. What has happened clearly shows that we care more about the well-being of our colleagues at Rockstar than the company does. The union remains unbowed and is fighting to win the reinstatement of every dismissed member of staff at Rockstar through legal means and campaigning. The fight is critical. If Rockstar can get away with this, they will keep treating their workers with disdain, disrespect, and subjecting them to continued illegal treatment. Thank you for your time, and I hope this is some truth that helps you all understand what is going on here at the moment. So that is insane. You've essentially got this Rockstar Games employee spilling the beans on what's going on, what's happening behind the scenes, what morale is like, how disappointed they are to not be able to continue working on Grand Theft Auto 6. And that was one of the things they talked about, is that they weren't leaking any Grand Theft Auto 6 stuff or discussing any GTA 6 stuff. But even with that, a lot of people remain worried and even questioning that the game was delayed because of the firing of these 34 employees. However, that is not the case, and that has been promoted by a lot of people in the know, video game insiders and reputable journalists alike. In fact, Tom Henderson, the founder of Insider Gaming and is very connected in the industry, said on his last podcast that the firings have nothing to do with GTA 6 getting pushed back 6 months.
Kind of, you pair that with the delay, which again they claim isn't. They don't relate.
Yeah, I can 100% say that the delay had nothing to do with this.
But Rockstar is going through it right now in the eyes of the public opinion.
Jason Schreier of Bloomberg also confirms that the firings had nothing to do with the Grand Theft Auto 6 delay, saying this the other day, this delay was not due to the firings last Thursday. While the fallout from those findings could certainly have a long-term impact on the project and lead to more missed deadlines in the future due to those vacant roles, protracted legal battles, morale loss, etc., the game did not slip 6 months because 34 people were fired a week ago. It was announced today when he made that post because Take-Two Interactive reported their earnings. Kiwi Talks, who is another video game insider, also confirmed that the firings were not connected to the delay, saying the union layoffs in the UK and the delay are not related. There are 6,000 plus employees working at Rockstar. You aren't delaying a game over 35 people getting laid off. That's not how these things work. Not to mention, Rockstar devs were telling me about a delay well before the union layoffs. Rockstar is extremely compartmentalized, with a huge number of staff not knowing what's in a lot of the game because they are only exposed to the specific chunk of work that they are assigned. This is done because the game is so large in scope and also for security reasons. So again, another sort of connected person in the video game industry saying that they are not connected at all. And even Rockstar Games insider Tez Funds 2 chimed in on this subject, as someone said, so the delay wasn't related to the union. And he said, yeah, the delay would have been planned way before the firings. So long story short, they are not connected. The firings, as unfortunate as they are, were not related to Grand Theft Auto 6 being delayed, although it could cause, again, delays in the future, like Jason Schreier of Bloomberg said. Now, what's going to happen next? We don't know. We know that there's been a handful of other Rockstar Games employees that have spoken out and are currently protesting against Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive. More protests are going to be taking place over the next couple of days. I'm sure there's going to be a handful of legal battles and court rulings that happen because of this. And it's even making its way to multiple countries' governments. Like, for example, it's made its way to the Polish parliament and also the UK government as well. They have legitimately had discussions about not only the Grand Theft Auto 6 delay, but also the firings that have happened.
Dziękuję bardzo i zapraszam pana posła Witolda Tumanowicza z Konfederacji.
Pani Marszałek, Wysoka Izbo, w ramach oświadczenia poselskiego chciałem poinformować o bardzo bulwersującej sprawie, ponieważ godzinę temu Rockstar Games zapowiedziało, że premiera gry GTA 6 zostanie przesunięta na za rok. No to jest ogromny skandal, powiem szczerze. Jeśli po czymś takim ludzie nie wyjdą na ulicę, to ja już nie wiem.
That company is video game company Rockstar, who's fired at least 30 employees across its UK studios, including Rockstar North in Edinburgh. Several of my constituents have been directly affected, and some came to see me last week to express those concerns. They claim they have been sacked because they were trying to unionise and discussing working conditions in private. But Rockstar have accused them of distributing confidential information and sacked them for gross misconduct. I've written to Rockstar to ask for information on the issue, but I wondered, could I have a meeting with the relevant minister to discuss what steps can be taken to support the workforce?
The sector she talks about is really important to the growth of the economy. but so too are rights at work, and successful companies are those that give decent rights and conditions at work, decent rights and conditions for the people they employ. So I will raise it with ministers and see what action, if any, can be taken to resolve it.
So it's little signs like that just indicate how big of a game Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be and how we can be so confident in the size of this title, because even non-gamers are talking about the issues connected to making the games and even the fact that we have to wait 6 more months to get our hands on the title. So this is a crazy, crazy update. There's a lot going on in the Rockstar Games GTA 6 world. That gives you an insight as to what's going on there behind the scenes, how it's not necessarily connected to GTA 6's delay, and a whole lot more. Let me know what you think about everything we discussed, though, in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.